Welcome in, Phoenix Christian listeners, to Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. My name is Nicholas Petrisky, and I'm honored to be joined alongside you tonight for some Phoenix Christian football. The Cougars took a trip up north here in Peoria to take on the Griffins of Glendale Prep. Glendale Prep, a new school to 11-man football, began their journey back in 2016. Cougars, a storied program unlike the Griffins, but on paper, both of these teams appear to be an even match. Phoenix Christian coming in as the number 17th ranked team in 2A, according to Max Preps. Glendale Prep, number 19. Again, a very even matchup on paper. Let's get into the inactives tonight for your Phoenix Christian Cougars. Defensive back Keithan Peterson, wide receiver Frank Reinard, Noah Jimenez, defensive back Zamir Moore, defensive back Jaden Moore, defensive lineman and offensive lineman Michael Ortuno Lockridge. And that are your Phoenix Christian inactives for tonight. Very interesting setup for the second week in a row here at Glendale Prep. Field recently was renovated back in 2019 for 11-man football. They had to play the first couple seasons away on the road, now with their own field. And here come the Cougars. Cougars led by your captains, Xavier Sandoval, Javian Willis, Dominic Paris, and Aiden Flynn. Your Cougars are led by head coach Jason Kindred. And the head coach for the home team Glendale Prep Griffins, Robert Adicott. Once again, on paper, teams very even. We'll have the national anthem coming up, followed by the coin toss, and here's the national anthem. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. That was the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a wonderful rendition. Captains about to take center field for the coin toss. A little interesting setup of note. I'm currently standing on some blacktop on a little hill here at Glendale Prep. The football field actually on the downwards of the hill, something that you typically don't see. You usually want the water to drain away from the grass, but here in Arizona, where the weather is very well over 100 degrees at some points, it's not surprising that they can get away with something like this. Your weather conditions for kickoff here in Peoria, Arizona. Sun has officially set here in the valley. 93 degrees, dropping potentially all the way down to 87 by the end of the game. Partly cloudy, some clouds to the right of Phoenix Christian there, but mostly a cloudless sky here for some Phoenix Christian football. The right will be the north end zone. The left is the south end zone. Phoenix Christian sideline facing due west. Glendale Prep sideline facing due east. Coin toss. Led by our head official tonight, Jesus Aguilera. Umpire, Rob Schneider. Head linesman, Ron Clark. Line judge, Danny Nam. And back judge, Joshua Weiner. Phoenix Christian has won the toss, and they will elect to receive the opening kickoff. This brings up the third game in a row that the Cougars will start with the ball on offense. Game 2 against Shadow Mountain, they drove down and scored on their opening kickoff, as did they last week against Sequoia Pathway. Cougars will look to make it a third game in a row scoring on their opening possession. Glendale Prep held Artist Prep scoreless on their opening drive, and good news, folks, I do have a scoreboard that I can tell you and give you updates tonight. Last week at Sequoia Pathway, playing in Pecana Park, no scoreboard. This week we do have a scoreboard to the north end zone side. Back deep to receive the opening kickoff for the Cougars, Javen Willis and Zion Rondan. Rondan, 96 total kick return yards, almost took 2 kick returns back against Shadow Mountain in week 2. Andrew Baba to get us started, and we are underway from Peoria. Rondan taken down at the 27-yard line. As a returner, all you can hope to ask for is more yards than a touchback, which in high school is still the 20-yard line. Out comes Sandoval. Cougars run the infamous wing T, and here they come out in it. Sandoval. And that will be a false start on the Cougars. Multiple jumping early on first play from scrimmage. Back in week 1 when the Cougars played the Hawks, a lot of penalties hurt the Cougars, and checking in for Sandoval is Joel Fajardo. Fajardo, the team's backup quarterback, he'll be under center now. Handoff left. This is Scroggins with some patience, and gain of about 9 on 1st and 15. Brings up second, and we'll call it 4. Ball spotted on the 34 of the Cougars. Fajardo still in. Takes the snap, running left is Willis. Willis breaks a tackle out to the 46-yard line. A gain of multiple. First and 10 from the Cougar 46. Handoff right, Scroggins trying to find a hole, and forward progress stopped at exactly midfield. Gain of 4. Bring up 2nd and 6. 10:47 left to play here in the first quarter.
Can we lower it?
It's in the way of our
Playground rules. That is not our playground. That school does not want us on their playground. Thank you.
Fajardo. Handoff left is Willis. Willis looking for some room, and Willis taken down at the Griffin 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. You've seen NFL teams like the Eagles have success with the quarterback push. Handoff right. Scroggins has enough for the first down and a little more. Scroggins gives the Cougars another first down. Ball spotted on the 40.5-yard line of the Griffins. 1st and 10. Fajardo, handoff left. This is Willis. He has some space left. Flag flies. This one might come back. And it will be a hold against the Cougars, their second penalty on the opening drive. I'll bring the ball back 5 yards. I beg your pardon, it'll actually be 10. Ball now spotted on the 48-yard line of the Cougars. Fajardo, handoff right. Scroggins breaks a tackle. Still going is Scroggins. Breaks another. And down all the way inside the 25 is Brandon Scroggins. A big run there for Scroggins, who comes in to tonight's matchup. 27 carries, 153 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Also has 1 catch for a 36-yard touchdown. This is Scroggins finding a hole. Scroggins all the way down inside the 10-yard line. 9:10 left to play here in the first quarter. 1st and goal. Cougars have relied heavily on the legs of Scroggins on the opening drive. This is Scroggins once again trying to cut in. And it looks like his helmet was taken off, or someone's helmet was taken off. And it will be the helmet of Scroggins, and he'll have to come out for a play. 2nd and goal. Ball spotted at, we'll call it, the 5-yard line. Beg your pardon, that's the 6. Fajardo, handoff left. This is Willis. Does he have enough? No. Our line judges on the evening say he was stopped short. I'll bring up 3rd and goal. Ball will be spotted on the 3-yard line. You got to think that the Cougars have 2 chances to try to punch this one in. Handoff right is Scroggins. Did he break the plane? Yes, he did! Touchdown, Cougars! And for the 3rd week in a row, the Cougars drive down and score on their opening possession. A drive that started at the 27 ends in a Scroggins touchdown. Point after is blocked by the Griffins. Cougars, after the first drive, lead 6-0. And we'll have a chance to see for a first time tonight, the Griffin offense with 7:46 left to play here in the first quarter. We'll see a heavy dose of Josh McHale and Nicholas Cummings to begin the game. Cummings leading the Griffins in rushing yards and carries, 44 carries, 403 yards, and 9 total touchdowns. McHale, the starting quarterback in his sophomore season, started last year. Israel Torres on to do the duties of kicking this ball off. Griffins in a bunch, 8. Griffins stand in between the 50 and the 40-yard line inside the hashes. Cougars have also successfully recovered 2 onside kicks in the first 2 games and a little squib kick. Ball is still rolling, eventually falling on it for the Griffins is Nathaniel Carey. Griffins not fooled by Coach Jason Kindred's ambush that he has went to many of times this season. And in fact, so far, this is the only game where the Cougars have not recovered an onside kick. Ball is spotted at near the 35. McHale, 2 receivers near side left. Handoff is Cummings. Cummings trying to look for some space, and he's wrapped up by multiple Cougars. Leading the way is Brandon Scroggins once again. Cougars will be going from left to right, white helmets, white jerseys, green numerals, and white pants. Griffins, right to left, blue helmets, blue jerseys, white numerals, and blue pants. Handoff is to Cummings once again, and not fooled is big Achilles Lopez. Achilles Lopez, the team leader in tackles for loss with 3, and he just added another there with number 4. 3rd and 11. Griffins, 3 receivers far side right. Tight end near side left is Carey. McHale gets the snap, looks right, looking for his man, and he finds him. That's Atticus Wyzevic, I beg your pardon. And that is enough for a Griffin first down. A big test tonight will be how sound the Cougar defensive backs can be against the biggest passing attack that they have seen this year. A miscommunication, and McHale goes down for a sack. It looks like the running back went one way, and McHale had to go another to try to avoid pressure. I'll bring up 2nd and 15. Ball is spotted on the right hash at about the 33-yard line. 2 receivers near side left. McCool gets the snap, rolling right. McCool still looking, he'll throw up a prayer, and that pass is incomplete. Trying to make a play on that is Daniel Pacheco, the freshman free safety in for Xavier Sandoval, who is still on the sidelines, taken out after the first play tonight. 3rd and long. Griffins, 2 receivers near side left. And a lot of men moved, but none more important than Dylan Lincoln, sophomore wide receiver Flinching just a bit too much for Jesus Aguilera's liking. That'll bring the ball back to the, I do apologize, it's hard to get a read. Third, and we'll call it long. 3 receivers near side left. McHale looks right, trying to scramble, stepping up in the pocket. McHale out to the 35, where he's eventually tripped up. Griffins will keep their offense out on the field. Maybe they won't. A lot of teams into a pooch kick just to try to flip the field a little bit. Beba punts the ball, will roll at the 41 and eventually be downed at the Cougar 39. And that's where the Cougars will take over on their second drive. Fajardo back out to lead the Cougars on offense once again. It appears Sandoval is trying to take some mental reps and see if he can go. From the 39. And a flag flies before. It's another false start against the Cougars. Luke Hawking checks into the game for Achilles Lopez. Lopez with a great first drive defensively, creating pressure on the Griffins offense. 1st and 15. Handoff right. Scroggins breaks a tackle. Flag flies. Scroggins breaks another man. And Scroggins will be tackled by the ankles by Lincoln. And we'll wait to see if this one is coming back. And it is another hold. Umpire Rob Schreibel saying one of the Cougar offensive linemen was holding. There's also a block in the back. 2 penalties, both against the Cougars. And that'll negate a long Scroggins run that almost had the Cougars back in the red zone. First and 15 once again for the Cougars. No harm, no foul, I guess. 1st and 15. Fajardo gets the snap. Handoff left. Willis. A lot of room for Willis to run, and eventually taken down by Julian Hiano. Gain of 10 on first down. Bring up 2nd and 5, or as I like to call it, 2nd and manageable. Handoff left is Willis once again. Willis will have enough for a Cougar first down. Ball's placed on the left hash at midfield exactly. 1st and 10. 3:49 left to play here in the first quarter. Handoff right, Scroggins, and being brought down at the 45 for a gain of 5. 2nd and 5. A lot of 5s in that sequence. 3:24 left to play in the first quarter. Fajardo, handoff right, and still running hard is Scroggins for a gain of 4. Scroggins will get a breather. Checking in is Jan Rondan. Interesting what the Cougars like to do on offense. They like to rotate offensive linemen. You have a lot of run blocking involved. Willis running left, and he'll have more than enough for the first down on 3rd and 1. Another Cougar first down as the clock continues to run here in the first quarter. Griffins going to a 5 lineman approach to try to stop the Cougar rushing attack. Willis, handoff left, and another flag. 2 flags fly in, and it'll be another hold against the Cougars. Make it 1st and 15. It's the 4th holding penalty against the Cougars. That's one of the Achilles heels, no pun intended, to Achilles Lopez of this team. Holding penalties hurt this offensive mindset of Coach Kindred a lot. And it looks like it'll be 1st and 20 for the Cougars. 2:25 left to play in the first quarter. Fajardo. Handoff left is Willis. Willis still on his feet and eventually brought down. Surprised there wasn't a horse collar call. Looks like a good bit of Willis's jersey was grabbed. We'll redo 2nd and 20. Ball spotted near the left hash on the 49-yard line. And it looks like it will be a timeout by Glendale Prep here to stop the clock. An interesting spot, surely, to call a timeout, especially when your defense felt like they were starting to find their stride. Quick update on Xavier Sandoval. He currently has ice on his right bicep. You got to think that's not what you want to hear if you're a Cougar fan tonight. Sandoval showed his ability to pass the ball as well. Sandoval 7 of 10, 160 yards and 3 touchdowns last week at Sequoia Pathway. Cougars won that game 56-6 in a rout of the Pumas. Cougars trot onto the field after a Glendale Prep timeout. They'll have 2 remaining in the first half. Fajardo breaks the huddle. And it'll be a double reverse. Rondan breaking free. And he'll be marked down at around the 30. A gain of 15 on 2nd and 20. And now the playbook opens wide up for Coach Kindred. Ball will be spotted on the 31 on the right hash, 3rd and 5. Handoff right, Scroggins. Does he have enough for first down? It would appear no at first glance, and it is 4th and 1. Coach Kindred, no hesitation, will go for this 4th and 1. Fajardo gets the snap. Handoff right. Scroggins still going. Down all the way to the 13-yard line is Scroggins. A big pickup on 4th and 1. 46 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. And this might be one of 2 more plays here in the first quarter. Handoff right. Scroggins breaking free. And he'll be marked down short at about the 3-yard line. We'll bring up 1st and goal. 27-26 now, seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Fajardo gets the snap. Running right is Scroggins. And a scrum. Scroggins will be marked short at the 1. You got to imagine all the Cougars need here is just one good push to get the tip of the ball over the plane of the goal line. And I beg your pardon, that will do it for the first quarter here from Glendale Prep. Score, your Phoenix Christian Cougars 6 and the Glendale Prep Griffins nothing. We'll take a short break and be back with you momentarily. This is Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Welcome back to Glendale Prep here in Peoria, Arizona. Your Phoenix Christian Cougars currently have it 2nd and goal to go. Handoff right, Scroggins in a scrum. Does he have enough? Refs say yes. Touchdown, Cougars. Brandon Scroggins with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Adu Asalefu on to attempt the point after. Snap is back, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. With that extra point, the Cougars take a 13-0 lead over the Griffins. Here in the second quarter, 11:54 left to play. Cougars have now scored on back-to-back drives in back-to-back games. You got to imagine Coach Kindred pleased with his team's performance so far in this game, but you never want to count out any opponent too soon. Xavier Sandoval still getting his arm worked on, trying to see if he can go at all. Israel Torres, the kickoff specialist for the Cougars. Asalefu handling point after and field goal tries. Torres will squib it. And getting the onside kick and taking it for about 10 yards is Nicholas Cummings. Cougars more clearly trying to onside kick it there. 11:50 left to play here in the second quarter. Zaire Smith checks into the game. How about this, folks? Zaire Smith, first time ever playing football a week ago against Sequoia Pathway. And what does he do? Well, he gets 2 sacks and a forced fumble. How about that? He's a basketball player that Coach Kindred is trying to turn into a football player. Cummings, handoff left, and Cummings will scurry forward for a couple. Be about gain of 2. But you see so much in the NFL, basketball players being really good football stars. Antonio Gates comes to mind, longtime tight end for the Chargers. Or you just have football players being really good at basketball, like Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns, who can jump out of a gym just like LeBron. McHale gets a snap, looking right, wobbly pass is caught by Caden Bridges for a Griffin first down. It's the first time we've really been able to see what Josh McHale and this Griffin pass and attack can do. You look at the height difference there between McHale and Cummings. Cummings looking more like a tight end than a running back. 3 receivers far side left. McHale under pressure immediately. He gets out of it, but not a second time. That's Ron Dan on the sack. That's his first sack of the year. Bring up second and about 15 with 10:27 left to play here in the second quarter. Carey in at fullback in front of Cummings. 2 receivers far side left. McHale gets a snap, handoff to Cummings. Cummings going nowhere. A combined effort there by Aiden Flynn and Daniel Sanchez. Bring up third, and we'll call it 13. Ball is spotted on the 33-yard line. You got to think Griffins are going to think about going for it here. McHale gets a snap under pressure, trying to avoid it. He takes off. McHale still running eventually, scampering out of bounds. And at first glance, it looks like McHale has the first down. Watching Glendale Prep's game against Ardea Prep last week. Watching Josh McHale play, I thought I turned on 2012 Johnny Manziel film. Has a lot of the same tendencies, undersized, likes to sling it, and very, very hard to bring down in the pocket, as you just saw there. First and 10. McHale. Play action, and that is going nowhere. Rondan with his second sack of the drive. Second and 15 now for the Griffins. 3 receivers. Near side right, Carey, the man in the slot. McHale rolling right. Looking downfield, fires it. And that pass is incomplete, says Donnie, our line judge tonight. 3rd and 15. Ball is spotted at the 27-yard line of the Cougars. We'll see what Coach Adicott will draw up here. Cummings shifts from left to right. McHale looking right, under pressure, now rolling left, flips it to Carey and throws behind. McHale had Carey open there near the left side, but throw is behind and Carey unable to even try to catch it. His momentum taking him fully away from the ball. Cougar faithful traveling to Peoria here, getting loud. 4th and 13. McHale rolling right, looking downfield. He'll throw it. Pass is picked off. And tipping the ball to himself is Michael Harmon. That's the Cougars' second interception of the season. And now, with 8:27 left to play in the second quarter, Cougars with a chance to score a third. Fajardo breaks the huddle. Scroggins trying to avoid trouble. Looks like he might actually lose a yard or two. Looks like he actually got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a generous 2nd and 10. Cougars break the huddle. Almost get the Griffins to jump, and Coach Kindred will burn his first timeout of the half. Cougars with 2 remaining. Griffins also with 2 remaining. 7:52 left to play here in the second half. We'll take a short break. Don't go anywhere, folks. Cougars lead the Griffins 13-0 here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Welcome back to Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Sun has now fully set here in Peoria, Arizona, and the Cougars find themselves in a long 2nd and 10. Handoff left is Willis. Willis dragging 2 men with him. Eventually brought down at the 30 for a gain of 10, and it'll be enough for a Cougar first down. Something that I've noticed in this game more than any other is the amount of patience that the Cougar running backs possess, namely Scroggins and Willis. Those are the two that get a majority of the carries in this backfield. Fajardo. Handoff, this is Flynn breaking a tackle and taking a man with him is Flynn, usually at linebacker, and right after, I say it's a two-headed monster. But Flynn's efforts are in vain as a holding call at the point of attack will bring the ball back to the Cougar 35-yard line. Be first and about 7. I thought the penalty was for a horse collar. You were able to see a lot of Flynn's shoulder pads, but I guess that was from my angle and not from the angle of the referees. First and we'll call it 7. Fajardo drops the snap and immediately falls on it. 2nd and 7. It looks like they'll give Fajardo the original line of scrimmage. Checking into the game is Zaire Smith. Smith listed as 6'3" on the official Cougar roster. Handoff is Willis. Willis trucking a man, and he'll have more than enough for a Cougar first down. Henao, the first man to meet Willis. I think the Cougars got away with a little bit of illegal shift. Zaire Smith was still getting ready. .6:48 left to play here in the first quarter. Cougars. Handoff left, Willis. Willis with a gain of 7. Bringing Willis down is Bobby Glazer. Glazer, the team leader in tackles for this Griffin defense. Linebacker, a real weak point for this Glendale Prep team. Even Coach Adicott said it heading into the season. Here's Flynn up to the Griffin 39. That'll be another Cougar first down. .6:08 left to play here in the second quarter. Ball spotted on the left hash of the 40-yard line. Handoff left is Willis. And Willis, the gain of about 11. Once again, enough for a Cougar first down. Paving the way for Willis is Michael Harmon, the man who got the ball back for the Cougars. 1st and 10 from the Griffin 29-yard line. Willis gets the handoff. Cutting inside and still going is Willis. Eventually brought down near the first down marker, and the referees say he gets it again. The 3rd straight Phoenix Christian run that has resulted in a first down. 5:30 left to play in the first half. Fajardo gets the snap. Willis looking for room. He has it. Make that 4 Cougar plays in a row that have resulted in a first down. 1st and goal. Ball will be spotted at the 9-yard line. Fajardo gets the snap. Willis, does he have enough? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Cougars. Javian Willis with touchdown run number 4 on the year to make the score 19-0. Asalefu with the point after. Snap is high. Hold is brought down and kick is blocked once again. It was a high snap from long snapper Xander Harmon. Asalefu last week only missing 1 point after try. So far tonight, he's already missed 2, but you can make the argument it's not necessarily his fault. Both of them have been blocked, and Asalefu still a relatively new kicker. Good news for the Cougars, it is still a 3-possession game. Cougars lead 19-0 with 4:53 left to play here in the first half. Israel Torres on to do the kickoff duties, and one thing that the Cougars have executed so far in this game is taking away Nicholas Cummings' ability to run the ball. Coming into tonight, 403 yards and 9 touchdowns. And down 19, you got to imagine it'll be on Josh McHale to try and lead the charge to bring the Griffins back into the game. Eight Griffins stand. Squib kick. And taking a big hit there once again is Cummings. Flag flies. We'll wait to see what the signal is. That was a big hit from multiple Phoenix Christian kickoff unit men, and flag was thrown by back judge Joshua Weimer. And it will be a personal foul against the Cougars. So a 15-yard penalty will put the Griffins with their best field position of the game. You got to wonder what the personal foul was there. If it was a helmet-to-helmet, Cummings jumped up for the ball, and I guess you can make the argument he's defenseless, but he's not a receiver. This is a kickoff, not an offensive play, and Cummings will stand to the right hip of McHale. Now the left hip. McHale gets the snap, looking left, he'll find Cummings out of the backfield, incomplete. Applying the pressure there was Luke Hawking. See a lot of Hawking and Achilles Lopez as the main 2 defensive tackles. Ball is spotted at the 36-yard line of the Cougars. Ball on the right hash. McHale gets the snap, bobbles it. Looks in the middle of the field and almost picking that one off is Pacho. McHale had trouble with the snap, and now a 3rd and 10, and you got to wonder what bag of tricks the Griffins will pull out here. Maybe a double pass, a Statue of Liberty. Anything is possible. 2 receivers come near side right. Cummings off of the right hip of McHale. Thorpe motions from right to left. Hale looking for his man, and that one almost picked off once again. by Pacho. Flags fly in from the back. And you got to imagine this will be pass interference against the Cougars. The only call that would make sense from this spot. And it will be holding against the Cougars. Not pass interference, but holding. And that gives the Griffins another chance on third down. Jesus Aguilera will correct the call, and it looks like it was actually pass interference against the Griffins. I was even struggling myself to see where the pass interference came against the Cougars, and now the ball is marched all the way back to the Griffins' own 49-yard line. 3rd and a mile. 3 receivers far side left. McHale, bootleg left, looking left, and he finds his man. That's Wyzevic. Griffins not enough there for a first down, and it'll bring up 4th, and we'll call it 14. Maybe 15, PA announcer says. Griffins keep their offense on the field with 4:08 left to play and counting down here in the second quarter. McHale with Cummings to his right. Gets the snap, bootleg right. McHale under pressure, unloads, and that'll be incomplete. Michael Harmon, the closest Cougar to the action, and that'll be a turnover on downs. And out comes the Cougar offense once again to try to get touchdown number 4 on the night. First and 10. Scroggins gets the handoff. And churning his legs for a first down is Scroggins. Clock winds. 3:35 left to play here in the second quarter. You got to imagine that the Cougars will use all the time in the world. Griffins do get the second half kickoff. Flags fly. And another one comes in as well. Make it 2. We'll wait to see what the flags are from Aguilera. First one, illegal shift against the Cougars. And it looks like they both were thrown for illegal shift. Timeout taken by the Cougars. Their second of the half. Cougars with 1 timeout remaining. Griffins with 2. For those of you just tuning in, welcome to Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. My name is Nicholas Petrisky. If you tuned in now, well, you're tuning into a good one. The Cougars leading the Griffins of Glendale Prep 19-0 with 3:19 left to play here in the first half. I just got an overly whelming smell of buttered popcorn from the concession stand here at Glendale Prep. Wow, that's a lot of butter that was put on that popcorn. 1st and 15. Ball spotted on the 45 of the Cougars. Double reverse. This is Rondan. Makes another man miss. Rondan, 20, 15, 10. One man to beat. Touchdown, Cougars! Rondan with his 2nd touchdown of the season, and none bigger or longer than the yardage of that one right there. Asalefu on for the point after. Snap is back, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. Making the score your Phoenix Christian Cougars 26 and the Glendale Prep Griffins 0. .306 left to play here in the 2nd quarter, and the Griffins sideline has to be wondering what to do. Griffins will receive the 2nd half kickoff. You almost wonder if we see Coach Adikoch go with maybe a more run-heavy approach with Cummings and try to wear down the Cougar defense before halftime. Try to pull a Bill Belichick score right before halftime and then score again. We do have an update on Xavier Sandoval. The ice is off his right bicep, and he is currently taking some snaps with Frank Reinard, who is out for tonight. Torres, kickoff specialist. Asalefu also out there with Torres. Looks like the 2 kickers both out there. Asalefu will kick it high in the air, and that one will go directly out of bounds. You almost wonder if that was designed to just eliminate any trouble. The main return man for the Griffins is Caden Bridges. He was the deepest Griffin on that play. Ball will be spotted on the Griffins' own 40-yard line on the right hash. Interesting note there. McHale is a righty, so a little bit of strategy there from Coach Kindred to make McHale roll out to the left and have to flip his hips to throw. And there's the run from Cummings as he'll take Sanchez and Flynn with him to the 48-yard line. A gain of 8, 2nd and 2. 2:45 left to play here in the 2nd quarter, and you got to wonder if Griffins just want to try to get out of this half, maybe with 3, hopefully 7. McHale gets the snap, looks left, looks over the center, and that pass is almost picked off. Pacho for the 3rd time tonight. Pass intended for Lincoln. And boy, did families and friends wearing green and white thought that was coming back for the Cougars. Instead, it falls harmlessly to the ground. Bring up 3rd and 2 for the Griffins. McHale, handoff to Cummings. Cummings met at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. We do have a flag on the field. And it looks like this one is going against the Griffins. It is illegal shift. And Coach Kindred accepts the penalty, and boy, is that a big penalty for the Griffins. A 3rd and 2 turns into a 3rd and 7, maybe even a 3rd and 8. Ball's in the middle of the field. 3 receivers, far side left. Thorpe lined up as the tight end on the right. McHale gets the snap. Under pressure, McHale tucks it and runs. McHale still running, and he'll eventually be pushed out at the 35-yard line. McHale once again evading pressure. He actually wants a flag on that play. What I saw more was Aguilera getting in the way of Rondan and Scroggins. You got to think now, or I should say the strategy for the Phoenix Christian defensive ends is to contain, opposed to straight rushing. McHale proving he can run with his legs. 1:56 left to play here in the second quarter. Timeout taken by the Griffins. Both the Griffins and Cougars have 1 timeout left each. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. My name is Nicholas Petrisky, and welcome into Phoenix Christian Football on this Friday night in Peoria, Arizona. Cougars lead the Griffins 26-0 with 1:56 left to play in the second quarter. Josh McHale saving this Griffin drive with a big run evading pressure. McHale looks left, throws over the middle of the field. He has his man. That's Bridges, and looks like we might have a roughing the passer penalty, and we do. That one's against Rondan. And that one will be added to the end of the play. A big run and a personal foul, and the Griffins in the red zone for the first time tonight. 1:51 left to play in the second quarter. McHale with Cummings to his left. You got to think maybe this is now the time to use the big running back. Bootleg left. McHale fires, end zone, touchdown, Griffins.
That looks to be a touchdown.
McHale with touchdown pass number 8 on the year. Andrew Beba on to attempt the point after. Beba, a lefty. Snap is high, hold is good, kick is up, and that is blocked. And flags fly late. Might be running into the kicker. Flag was thrown by Aguilera, the head referee tonight. Let's see. And it will be running into the kicker. Point after is no good. foul occurring after the ball was already tipped. Penalty will be assessed on the end of the kickoff. And with 1:46 left to play here in the second quarter, the Cougars now lead the Griffins 26-6. This game playing out very similar to what it did in Maricopa last week against Sequoia Pathway. Cougars were leading by around the same margin, 26. I believe it was actually 28, maybe even 35. And the Pumas scored a late touchdown and did not score again for the rest of the game. Kickoff instead of the 35 will be from the 40. Beba on to attempt. You got to wonder if the Griffins might go onside kick themselves here. It's a little pooch kick. And that ball will roll out of bounds. Ball will be placed on the right hash of the 40. You saw Scroggins, the closest Cougar to it, stumble as he tried to get the ball. Probably better for the Cougars that he didn't do it. Didn't try to play the ball. And he will check out for a moment. Fajardo still into quarterback for the Cougars offense. Fajardo breaks the huddle. 1:46 left to play. Willis gets the handoff going left, and it looks like he'll lose a couple. You saw the same shifts and backfield motion that you did on the touchdown with Rondan, except this time Willis kept it himself. Griffins stack their defense. .107 left to play. Fajardo. Handoff right is Rondan. Stiff-arming a man. He has the legs to beat Cummings. And taken out at the 36-yard line. For a big gain is Rondan. He's been a big factor so far tonight. 48 seconds and counting down left to play here. Cougars have one timeout left. Many Phoenix Christian fans not happy with the no call on Cummings with the horse collar. And we do have a flag for false start. So far, only a couple of flags thrown against the Griffins, multiple against the Cougars. However, a lot of illegal shifts and motions and holdings against the Cougars. Coach Kindred upset with the management of the clock by Aguilera. Cougar fans not happy, and neither is Coach Kindred. Clock runs. Now 30 seconds left to play. Kindred furious. Handoff right is Rondan, and he'll get swallowed up for a gain of 1. And he'll be forced to use his last timeout. Coach Kindred upset with Rondan running out of bounds, being brought down by Cummings. I thought he was more upset with the no call on the horse collar that I saw, but Kindred upset, saying he should have a couple, probably about 10 seconds left. Kindred will take his men actually to the side briefly. 20 seconds left to play here in the first half. Got to think Coach Kindred discussing one, maybe two, even three potential plays to call in a row. Maybe the plan is different if Sandoval is in there, but it is Fajardo, the backup still, onto quarterback. And two receivers come near side left. Scroggins in the slot. Willis with the handoff, still going, and eventually being brought down by Cummings. And it looks like the Cougars actually had another timeout. I do apologize. I thought they only had one. They actually have two left. 12 seconds on the clock. Cougars will face a 3rd and 7 from the Griffins. We'll call it 33. You got to imagine out of the range of Asalefu. .12 seconds left to play. You got to think that you maybe have 2 plays, maybe 3 if you're lucky, here for the Cougars with 12 seconds. 2 receivers near side left. Fajardo handoff left. Willis trying to break free, and making a big hit is Cummings. And it looks like that'll do it here in the first half, and it will. The clock strikes 0. And after 2 quarters played here in Peoria, Arizona, the score, your Phoenix Christian Cougars 26 and the Glendale Prep Griffins 6. More Phoenix Christian football on your way after halftime. But for now, we break. We'll be back after halftime. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Hello, world, and I apologize for the lack of sound. I had unplugged my mixer to charge my laptop just a little bit. Halftime, it was at about 50% and didn't want to take the chance of it dying at the end of the fourth quarter. I do apologize. Cougars have it first, and we'll call it 12. Ron Dan on a carry for about 4. We'll bring up 2nd and 7. 7:17 left to play here in the third quarter. I'm going to say it again. Zaire Smith notched sack number 4 on the season on that long 4th and goal for the Griffins that their opening drive of the half stalled. Handoff is Scroggins. Scroggins will be marked down at the Griffin 46-yard line, maybe 45 and a half. 3rd and a long one coming up for the Cougar offense. Referee will blow his whistle. And it's a timeout for the Sticks. That last run by Willis, actually a Cougar first down. So instead of 3rd and 1, it's now 1st and 10 from the 45. Scroggins up the middle, getting a second effort and fighting for extra yards. Scroggins will get 11 on first down. Back-to-back first downs for the Cougars. Again, I do want to apologize for all the Cougar faithful listening out there. I had unplugged my mixer from my laptop, and I was not made aware of it until my girlfriend texted me, and now here we are. Handoff left Willis, and he runs through a man and 2. Willis, 10, 5, touchdown Cougars! Javian Willis with a big run of 35 yards, but there is an injured an injured Griffin down on the field. We don't have a number on him yet, but we'll take a quick break and give you information as is available. Cougars up 32-6, point after pending here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere, folks. Injured Griffin down was Judson Terpstra, senior offensive lineman and defensive lineman. Terpstra with 19 tackles heading into tonight's game and 2 sacks. We will give you an update on his status once we see him back in the game or if we see him leave the field at all. Cougars will be going for 2. Handoff right is Scroggins, and he'll be brought down short. 2-point try, no good. Makes the score 32-6. Cougars lead. You've seen a lot of growth from week 1 with his Phoenix Christian offense only scoring 6 points. Since then, they have scored 30 or more points in each of their 3 games, with the least being 30 against Shadow Mountain week number 2. You see what this Phoenix Christian offense can do when they aren't held back by penalties or self-inflicted wounds. And it's an offense that can really throw a defense and really even an offensive game plan aside too, because when you're constantly running the ball, clock chews, and you have less time to run an offense maybe you want. Griffins coming into today maybe wanted to use Nicholas Cummings in the run game more. Well, credit where credit is due to the Phoenix Christian defensive line and the defense altogether for holding their own against Cummings. Kickoff is a pooch kick. Ball lands and eventually collected by Carey on the 35, and that ball took a high bounce, and Carey laying on the ground just a couple more seconds to make sure that it is in fact Griffin football. Ball actually be spotted on the 36 of the Griffins. Ball's on the left hash. First and 10. 3 receivers, far side right. Near receiver left is Weizovic. Mikhail gets a snap, quick screen to Bridges, and Bridges breaks 1 tackle. Brought down at the 47-yard line. Gain of about 20. First and 10 for the Griffins. 5:33 left to play. Three receivers near side left. Mikhail hands off to Cummings, and Cummings breaks 4 Cougar tackles before finally being brought down at the 42. Gain of 11, and that's back-to-back first downs for the Griffins. Mikhail gets the snap. Quick throw, passes incomplete, bouncing off of Weizovic's hands. Some of the most dangerous plays in all football, bouncing off a receiver's hand up in the air for any defender to grab and maybe even take to the house. 3 receivers near side left once again. Mikhail gets the snap. Looking, same play for Weizovic as he breaks 2 tackles, but no more. Up to the 37-yard line. Weizovic, the favorite target so far on the night for the Griffin offense, and quarterback Josh Mikhail. 4:22 left to play here in this third quarter. 2 receivers, far side right. Mikhail gets a snap, under pressure, throws, and that pass falls incomplete. Pacho and Bridges colliding with each other as the ball arrived from Mikhail. Pacho taking over the free safety role from Xavier Sandoval, as I will reiterate because none of any of you guys listening heard because I was on mute, but Xavier Sandoval is out for the rest of the game as Cummings takes a big hit around the 25 and almost does a front flip, but it's enough for a first down. However, Pacho and Fajardo in for Sandoval because he is out for the remainder of this game. He walked by our broadcasting station without his shoulder pads and his pants on. We'll give you an update if one becomes available. McHale throws it deep, and that pass is incomplete. Trying to find Lincoln on a flag route. You saw Zaire Smith get really upfield on there. McHale really not even having to do a lot to avoid him. We have an official timeout for the moment as the ball was spotted a yard ahead. 2nd and 10 from the 24-yard line. 2 receivers near side left. Cummings, the running back in the backfield. Lincoln motions from left to right. Bootleg right. McHale under pressure, and we eventually get taken down for a gain of maybe 1. They'll bring up 3rd and 9. You got to wonder if this is once again 4-down territory for Coach Adicott and his Griffins. Thorpe motions from right to left. Snap is low and goes directly to Cummings. Cummings trying to trudge forward. He'll get a couple. Bring up 4th and 7. Cummings saw the ball on the floor there and just decided to take it himself on, I guess we'll call it a running back keeper. 4th and 7. Cougars trying to hold the Griffins for their 2nd turnover on downs in a row. Thorpe motions from right to left. McHale under pressure, takes off, reverses field. McHale trying to get the pylon, eventually taken down by Dominic Paris. Flag is thrown. You got to imagine this is now the horse collar call that has not been called at all today, except for right now it would appear, and actually will be waved off, but back judge Joshua Weiner very quick to throw the flag there once McHale got tackled. Now brings up a 1st and goal from inside the 5. Griffins trying to chip down this Cougar lead. 2 receivers far side right, now make it 3 receivers near side left. McHale, snap, pass is batted at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Looked like the Griffins were trying to set up a naked slant on the right side. 2 receivers, far side right. Now make it 3 receivers. Lincoln the man in motion. Handoff goes to Cummings. Cummings going nowhere. The first Cougar to meet him was Hawking. A frustrating day so far for Nicholas Cummings as the Cougars have answered anything he's been able to try to do. 3rd and goal. Ball spotted inside the 5. 2 receivers near side left. And we'll have a flag. And it'll be encroachment against the Cougars, and that'll be half the distance to the goal, making the Griffins' job a little easier. McHale under center for the first time tonight, and he drops a football. Cougars bounce on it. They say they have it, and they do! And once again, the Cougar defense able to hold the Griffins inside the red zone, and with 2:01 left to play here in the third, the Cougars will have a long way to go in starting inside their own 5. Just a simple fumble on the quarterback center exchange. And now it happens to the Cougars, but luckily a penalty was thrown and it's false start. That penalty won't be too much. It'll be, again, half the distance to the goal, maybe a yard. Actually almost works out in the Cougars' favor, being able to do 1st and 11 instead of 2nd and 10. First and 11. Pushing forward for a few yards is Scroggins. Ref will mark it as about a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. Once again, Fajardo in for the injured. Xavier Sandoval ruled out for the remainder of tonight's game. Fajardo gets the snap. Handoff left. With him is Willis. We'll have a referee stoppage in play for the chain gain to get set up because Willis got just enough for another Cougar first down. You got to think something that has aided the Cougars this game is the lighting situation here at Glendale Prep. Handoff goes to Willis and trying to spin out of a tackle for some extra yards. Willis with a rush of 8, but you have temporarily put up floodlights for the stadium here, reaching maybe about 9 or 10 feet high in the air. The middle of the field is much less illuminated than the sidelines. Scroggins, some patient running gets him another first down. He'll be marked down at the Cougars' own 26, but got to think something that has hindered the passing attack of this Griffin offense, and Josh McHale is not really being able to see in the middle of the field, where he has almost thrown multiple interceptions. And that run will do it for the end of the third quarter. Score, your Phoenix Christian Cougars 32, and the Glendale Prep Griffins 6. You saw Coach Kindred immediately pull his guys away. Just wasting as much of the clock down as he possibly needs. 12 minutes, 1 quarter left to play here. In this 2A Agua Fria region matchup, this is the first region matchup for your Cougars, the second of the year for The Griffins of Glendale Prep, earlier in the year to open their year, Glendale Prep played Camp Verde and lost 48-12. Since then, the Griffins are 3-0, but beginning your year 0-2 in a region where you play 6 games, just like the NFL. Not the best start that Robert Adicott could have asked for. Cougars, their first year in the 2A Agua Fria region. Handoff right. This is Rondan breaking a tackle and keeping his balance. Rondan still going, breaks another tackle. Does he have enough? No! And Rondan will be marked down inside the 15-yard line. You've seen Coach Kindred go back to that play multiple times as there was a flag on the side, but it is picked up. Looks like it was almost a sideline warning of some sorts. After starting inside their own 5, the Cougars quickly find themselves in the red zone. Ball spotted on the right hash at, we'll call it the 10-yard line. It is a 10-yard line, 1st and goal Cougars. Handoff left, Willis cuts it inside, breaks a tackle. Willis in the end zone, touchdown Cougars. Javian Willis adding another touchdown to his season tally and making the score Cougars 38 and the Griffins 6. Asalefu's point after still to come. Xander Harmon, the long snapper. Snap is back, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. Making the score your Phoenix Christian Cougars 39 and the Glendale Prep Griffins 6. We'll take a quick break here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is Phoenix Christian Football. Welcome back to Phoenix Christian Football here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. My name is Nicholas Petrisky. For those of you just tuning in, Adu Asalefu on for the kickoff, and that'll be the first normal kickoff, if you will, of the night for the Cougars. Returning it is Beba, and he'll be taken down at the 25-yard line. Cougars lead the Griffins 39-6 with 11:10 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Griffins. 3 receivers near side right. Looking to get anything going on the offensive side of the ball here late in the game. Handoff goes to Cummings. He's eventually brought down after a gain of about 3. Second and 7 now for the Griffins. Rondan now finds himself out at corner. Dominic Paris moved back to safety. Cummings gets a handoff. And he'll pick up another 3, making it 3rd and about 5. Again, you got to think this is 4-down territory for the Griffins, even in this part of the field with just over 10 minutes to go. McHale. Low snap, and McHale tries to get rid of it and does. Almost getting his 3rd sack of the night is Zaire Smith. 4th and 5, and it actually looks like the Griffins will punt it away. You see both sides of the argument, one being, well, you might as well try to keep the game alive with a 4th down conversion. On the other side, they have not converted on 4th down this year. Willis will go back to return this punt, and will stand at about the 34-yard line. And it'll be a fake. Cummins taking the direct snap to the upback for a gain of 8, and that'll be a 1st down Griffins. The 4th down conversion the Griffins were finally searching for. And now McHale and his friends have another shot to put the ball in the end zone. Getting the jet sweep is Lincoln, and Lincoln brought down for a loss of 2. Harmon making a great form-fitting tackle. Harmon, the Cougars' leader in tackles, heading into tonight, and after tonight I would assume he is still in the lead. 2 receivers, near side right. Lincoln motions from left to right. Snap is back. Throw to Weizovic, and Weizovic will pick up a 1st down. His sophomore wide receiver, if he put a little more air under that, he might have got more yards or even a touchdown. Weizovic really having to come back to that ball and basically catch it sitting on the grass already. McHale rolls out right, now stepping up, will float it away and just get rid of it. 2nd and 10. Checking out of the game is Cooper Quinton. Quinton, a freshman that has played a lot of minutes for this Cougars team, both offensively and defensively. Handoff Cummings, running up the middle and running over Israel Torres for a 1st down. That's the first we've seen of Nicholas Cummings really being what I saw of him on film against Agua Prep last week, where he has the size of a tight end for a 2A region, listed at 6'1". And the power of a true power back and a real piece for this offense that hasn't been used. Pass over the middle is almost intercepted. Almost there once again is Daniel Pacho. You got to think one of these times that ball over the middle is just going to fall into the arms of Pacho, who's playing that free safety center field role. Jonah Horan in at safety for Dominic Paris. Handoff to Cummings. He makes two-man miss. Runs over a third. And will get just enough for a first down. First and 10. Ball will be spotted inside the 25-yard line, not quite in the red zone yet. McHale gets a snap, looks right immediately, and that pass is picked off. Reading it beautifully was Aiden Flynn. And if Flynn didn't trip over his own feet, that might have been a pick six. Aiden Flynn had all kinds of green to work with. A great read there from Flynn, his first interception of the year. And with 7:27 left to play here in the fourth quarter, you think one touchdown might do it. Currently a 5-possession game. And surely a 6th possession would put it out of the reach for Glendale Prep. Handoff right is Rondan. Cutting inside and getting a couple. Second and looks like 10. Rondan didn't get any. Maybe he got a couple. Lions crew had to adjust briefly. This clock is going to continue to tick. Now under 7 minutes to play. Handoff left. Ransom, the ball carrier, for a gain of about 4. Bring up third, and we'll call it 4. Cougars in absolutely no rush to get their plays off. Fajardo breaks the huddle. Handoff left and cutting it inside and back to the right is Ransom once again for a gain of about 15. Now under 6 minutes to play. Aiden Flynn and Fajardo jog to the huddle. Flynn checking in. Fajardo to deliver the play. Handoff right. Still on his feet is Rondan once again, and Pyle still pushing. Rondan never went down. That's a gain of 12 on first down. Flynn checks back out. Fajardo breaks the huddle. Handoff left. Cutting it back in for a gain of 4 is Ransom. Especially late in the game, you see now the amount of depth the Cougars have at running back with Scroggins, Willis, Michael Harmon, Ransom, Ron Dan, Aiden Flynn, even another name in there. All backs capable of carrying the load game in and game out for the Cougars. And one of those backs takes it out to the 36-yard line for another Cougar first down. That's Ron Dan once again. Now under 4.5 minutes to play in this game, and the Cougars just going to continue to drain the clock and really put this game to bed. Handoff left. Ransom, the ball carrier. Flag on the play. The first penalty that we've seen in quite some time now, and it will be another holding call against the Cougars. Achilles Lopez checks out of the game. Ball spotted on the 44-yard line in the middle of the field. Cougars need the 26 for a first down. First and we'll call it 18. And off left is Ransom. Gain to the 41-yard line. Zaire Smith seeing some action in that tight end. Second and still quite a bit. Handoff right is Ron Dan. Ron Dan taken down at 34. Third and 8 for the Cougars offense, and do you maybe consider going for it again if you're Jason Kindred, really trying to put this game away with 2:33 left to play? And I think the answer is you do. Handoff right is Rondan, and he's hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Gain will actually be for about a yard. 4th and 5. Cougar fans unhappy with the no call of a couple, maybe not horse collars this drive. Officially under 2 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. No 2-minute warning. And the Cougars, looks like they got and it will be encroachment against the Griffins, and that'll bring up 4th and inches. Still short of the line to get, but all the Cougars need is a yard to really put this game to bed. Think how quick this drive has gone for the Cougars, but how much time they've taken off the clock, and this offense that just churns the clock like it's butter. Handoff right is Rondan, and Cummings shooting the gap and making a great play for a loss of 1. And with 1:25 left to play in the fourth quarter, the Cougars turn the ball over to the Griffins. Really wish that you maybe could have got a first down there, really ice the game. Only have to maybe run 2 more plays after that, but instead, this game will be prolonged by the passing attack of Josh McHalen, the offense. 2 receivers come near side right. Some new Cougars checking in: Philip Vaughn, Caleb Jimenez, new defensive tackles. McHale rolls out to his left. Will fire it deep. Incomplete. Trying to find Lincoln. .120 left to play. In comes Rocco Piazza. Piazza, one of the smallest Cougars listed on the roster at 5'5". Lincoln motions from left to right. Cummings gets the handoff and will be met after a gain of about 2. Third and 8 with 1:08 left to play here from Glendale Prep in Peoria, Arizona. Now under a minute. McHale with maybe 1 or 2 more chances to make his mark. Pass is lobbed up and incomplete. Trying to find Weizovic. Hit the shoulder of Brody Goodson on the sideline, who's inactive tonight, wearing just his jersey and some shorts. 4th and 8. Offense stays on the field for the Cougars. You got to imagine this might be some kind of Hail Mary or just trying to keep the game close. McHale throws the ball quickly, picked off. Pacho finally gets his interception. And down inside the 15-yard line, Daniel Pacho. It was coming all night. Pacho, 1, 2, 3, or maybe dropped, gets a phenomenal read. And that's to end the game. With 38 seconds left to play here, Cougars up 33. You gotta imagine it will be victory formation for Coach Kindred and his Cougar offense. Start to look into next week for the Cougars. The final game of a 4-game road stand will end at Highland Prep a week from today. That game scheduled for 7 a.m. as Fajardo will take a knee, and that is the end of the game. Final score, your Phoenix Christian Cougars 39 and the Glendale Prep Griffins 6. That is the least amount of points the Griffins have scored all year, scoring 12 against Camp Verde in their first game. Cougars putting that in half and holding them to 6. A look ahead to next week to finish the thought. Game at Highland Prep. Taking on the Honey Badgers, Tyron Matthews' favorite team here in Arizona. At the moment, Highland Prep with a record of 1-2. They're taking on Cortez tonight. For the Griffins, there's another game at home against Mountainside. And the third 2A Agua Fria region matchup of the year for these Griffins. You've really been able to see this Cougar team develop and evolve and progress over the course of 4 games. First game against Tanca Verde, a lot of new install, a lot of new players on the field, new coaching. It didn't go their way, losing by 13. Now, 3 games later, scoring over 30 points a game in that stand and going 3-0. You got to think, well, what's next for this group of Cougars? Well, you got to circle the game after next week against Camp Verde. Camp Verde defeated these same Griffins. They scored more points but allowed 1 more touchdown, so circle that one on your calendar, Phoenix Christian fans. Then the last Freedom game for the Cougars will be at home against the Bobcats of Benson, a team that defeated Shadow Mountain last week by 4 in a close affair, so you got to think that game will be really close as well. Some good football to still be played here in the final half of the season. We will be on location at Highland Prep next week, September 22nd. Kickoff once again set for 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But if you're Coach Jason Kindred, you can ride the bus back to Phoenix happy with the performance you saw from really all facets of the ball. Defensive line was getting home. You had an interception from your secondary and one from your linebackers. You had multiple people being able to run the ball. And to top it all off, you were doing this on the road with a backup quarterback. You go out and you win by 33. A great road win and another real confidence booster for the boys in green and white. But for now, that will do it from the campus of Glendale Prep in Peoria, Arizona. Final score, Cougars 39, Griffins 6, a 33-point win for your Phoenix Christian Cougars. Thank you for all those who have tuned in from Arizona and across the world. My name is Nicholas Petrisky. I'll see you next week. Different place, same time. Have a great night, folks, and as always, please drive safe. Thank you. Have a good night.